Okay, it's been quite a while since I've done a video, and I've had a lot of requests on how to make maize meal porridge, the one with the eggs in, so that you've got quite a balanced meal. And the type of food I'm going to be doing today is just the simple stuff, because I'm quite lazy when it comes to eating, and I eat the simplest possible things I can. Now, I know that there are a lot of better ways of eating and that people have probably got really fancy ways, but I keep it as simple as I can, and it's really helped me because I got injured, I never trained, I put on a lot of weight, and eating this way has brought it all down, and I'm feeling really fantastic about myself now, and the shape is coming back exactly how I want it. So this is maize meal. This is the meal that we're going to be using, and what I've done is I've put a little bit in this bowl. Now, I better just put this on because that's got to be boiling. So let's just get that going. And if you put the maize meal into boiling water, what often happens is it'll go lumpy. And it's quite hard because you've got to stir for a long time to try and get the lumps out. And we discovered that maize meal, if you put a little bit of water, so I'm going to put a little bit of cold water in, and just make it like into a thick sort of paste, and that makes it a lot easier to use. So we don't want too much water, you can see, and there's very little in there, because basically what I've done is, okay, so it's quite a thick paste. Need to add a little bit more water, so it's a very sloppy paste, but you can see what it's done now is it's actually stopped all the lumps, so there's no lumps in there. So we're just trying to get this back onto boil. Both of those are on 6, yeah, so they should come back to the boil shortly. And what's going to happen, what I'll tell you is, maize meal is the staple diet for Africans. And coming from Africa myself, we used to eat a lot of this. It's a great meal, and I can tell you, you find very few Zulus that don't look in immaculate condition, and all they eat is maize meal and a bit of meat when they can get it, and a little bit of veggies that they manage to grow themselves, and so they eat very balanced, healthy diets. And this that we're going to be making now is just going to show you how to make a simple meal that is quite nutritious and really does a lot of good for your bodybuilding and helps you to lose a bit of weight, fill you up, and quite good for bodybuilding. So the water's just started boiling, and so what we're going to do is we just ladle this in, and you can see it's fairly thin. We just keep putting it in there. You can see what's happening. You can see it's really nice and smooth, and it goes quite creamy. Now, there you can see it's starting to thicken up already. It's thickening up. I might have to add a little bit more water. There you can see it's bubbling away. I'm going to add a little more water to this. I think, or will I get away with it? Yeah, I think I'll get away with it. It seems to be okay. You can see I haven't cooked it for very long. Let me just grab a little bit more water here. Take that. Add a little bit more. Shouldn't really do too much of that. Use a wooden spoon. Okay. My wife's just moaning at me. Use a wooden spoon, scratching her bowl, her pot. Okay, so you can see there. And that's basically cooked. Okay. It doesn't have to cook for very long. Couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes, 2 minutes or so, and that's the porridge done. Okay, so we will turn that one off. Stick it on there. This is quite hot, and now I'm going to just make the eggs. And what I've done is I've used olive oil, okay, extra virgin olive oil, which is what we cook with all the time. We don't use any other oils these days. Just an ordinary fried egg in here. Is that hot enough? Yeah, there it is. Great, it's starting to bubble away. I don't like to use too many of the yellows, the yolk, for the simple reason they do carry quite a bit of extra fat. And I know that there's lots of people that'll argue that you should and you shouldn't, but look, I eat the way I enjoy eating, and this is the way I do it. So if you want to use both yolks, that's fine, that's your privilege to do that. I keep it as simple as I can, and while that's just cooking away, what we'll do is we'll take the pot here, take our maize meal, You can see that in the previous nutrition video I did, I spoke very much about a fist size. Now this is a little bit small, but you know, it's not a bad meal. Make my wife happy and put that in the water so it can soften. And there we have it. I think the Americans call this sunny side up. From Africa, oh, it's broken, not really a problem, not really worried about it. It's going straight in, so we can turn that off. And basically what you've got is now this is a meal that my grandfather used to have almost every day of his life, and he lived to 92 and he was a huge man. So mixed up in there. Bit of salt and pepper on that. Again, you know, be careful with salt. A lot of people are against salt, so if you don't feel that you should use it, don't use it. I use a little bit every now and again when I feel that I would like it. But there is an absolutely fantastic meal. Something that I really enjoy, and it takes me back to my granddad every time I have this. So, fantastic meal. So that's a simple meal that I'll have in the morning. Now I'm going to show you another easy meal, which is another porridge, and this is oats. And I love oats because oats are probably one of the best carbohydrates because it's a very slow release. And you can get rolled oats, or you can get the ones that I've got, which I love. We prefer these oats, which you can see they're real oats. Okay, and again, it's a very simple, quick method. I'm as lazy as you can imagine when it comes to eating or cooking food. So all I do is it's about that much, which is all I want. I don't want too much. Okay, in a bowl, you can see there it is. Not an awful lot in that bowl. Maybe throw a little bit more. Be a bit greedy today.
That's a jug.
Well, the jug bowl. It's good. It's what I use. Okay. Now you'll see the amount of water that I put in. It's not an awful lot. Okay. So you can see that's it. So about 1/3 of the oats and about 2/3 of water, thereabouts. Okay. So if we're looking on here, I don't have my glasses on, but the whole lot comes out to what, close to 150 milliliters. So it's a small amount with a little bit of in such a simple way. I use 2 minutes. Now my wife is a lot fussier about it when she has oats. She cooks it for longer, and she'll stop it halfway through and she'll stir it and does all of those things that women normally end up doing. I take it rough and ready as it comes, just like that, in there, a bit of grunt, and that's it, and that's exactly how I want it. It's got like a little bit of oomph to it. And so 2 minutes and that'll be done, and I'll show you how I make it a complete meal. So I'm going to turn off now, let it cook for its 2 minutes, and then we'll show you when we come back. Okay, so it's just finished cooking, and I'll pull it out and you can see, and that's exactly how it's turned out. Okay, so the oats for me, that is perfect. It's done. Now I'll show you what I normally do. I want to make it a complete meal, so that's the carbohydrate. I use my protein powder, and a scoopful of protein powder in it. Okay, and I use soya protein because I can't have dairy, as you all probably know, or those of you that have been following what I've been doing. So if you've got whey protein's perfect, and you'd want around about an 80% protein in there. So I put in my protein powder, and then because that's a bland protein powder, it's just normal protein. It's not very nice because it's plain. I like the flavoured ones, but we couldn't get any of this last time we went to the shops. So I sweeten it up, and I'm taking a little bit of honey, and I like the solid honey because it's easier to use. Put a little bit of honey in. Stick that out the road, just to give it a little bit of extra flavour. Mix that up. Now it's quite thick. So what we'll do, I'm using soya milk. You can use skim milk. I also use water. It makes no difference. I use soya because my wife was kind enough to buy me some soya the other day, so I'm using a bit of that as well. But There I go. Mix it up quite well because it can tend to want to become lumpy, particularly with this kind of protein powder I've got. Doing a real good job here of spilling it on the stove, but anyway. Take it and stick it in a bowl. And that for me is a really great meal because you've got a slow release carbohydrate, you've got your protein powder in there, and I'm lazy at 2 minutes in the microwave. And so I'll have that 2-3 times a day. And it's a fantastic meal, keeps your energy levels up, helps your blood sugar to stay level. It's just a great meal and it's a great way of eating. So that's another meal that I will have, which makes life easy. And then of course the heavier, what I would term sort of more heavier meals would be to have potatoes and stuff. Now, I microwave, I'd rather use the microwave than mess around with all these other things. So when you're microwaving, it's actually quite easy to do. Always make sure you prick your potato or it will explode. So you want to prick this. And again, from the other nutrition video that I've got on there, you can see that I normally say around about a fist size. So it's about a fist size of potato, washed, nice, ready to eat, just like that. In the microwave, I'm going to do 2 of them together because I'm going to show you 2 different quick meals with potatoes. Now, normally a potato this size is about 4 minutes, is how long it takes to cook. So I'm just going to stick this in the microwave there and we'll give it about 6-7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. That should do it, and that should cook both of them together. But one potato about that size is about 4 minutes. So I'm going to turn off again, and we'll come back as soon as they're actually cooked, and then I'll show you 2 other very quick meals that I tend to have on a regular basis, which are easy to make and no problem. Okay. So that's cooked, and I checked it and it definitely is cooked. So we'll take one out for the time being. And this is cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is one of the best proteins you can possibly get. But I can't eat it because it's dairy. But I just wanted to show you, when I was eating cottage cheese ages ago, it was really great. And this is a simple way of doing it. So just cut it 4 like that. Spread your potato open. You can see it's really hot. It's just come out of there. And what we'll do is I just need to get a spoon just to get a bit of this cottage cheese onto this. So again, about a fist size of that. And my mother-in-law, who stays with us, is so kind. She's actually made us a nice little salad here. So we get a spoon here and we just dish up a little bit of salad. There we go. Hang on, we've almost gone MasterChef. And there you have it. A simple meal. That is a really complete meal. So you've got your carbohydrate, you've got great protein, a bit of greens, really good for you. Another very easy meal to end up doing. I won't be able to eat this, but probably one of the members of the family will eat it, I'm sure. So that's on the other side. And then the last one I wanted to show you is, again, another simple meal which I do eat quite often. Again, just split this open, give it a little bit of a squeeze so that it opens up nicely. And it's tuna. And tuna and potato. Again, tuna is a very, very good source of protein. I know that there's many people who say, watch out, it's got certain toxins in it and this and that. You know, anything's all right if you don't overdo it. If you're having it too much, then it can become a problem. And tuna is quite a cheap protein to get. So we're just pouring off the brine, because it's tuna in brine. And let me just get a little teaspoon here, and we just take out these tuna chunks here on top. Now tuna tends to be quite dry, so it's a very dry sort of fish. Again, you can see the potato is about a fist size. The tuna's about a fist size, so you can almost use the whole lot in there without any problem. And of course what we'll do is we'll just stick a little bit of tomato sauce on that, just to make it a little bit, so it's not quite as dry. Don't want too much. And there's a little bit of tomato sauce in there. And again, we'll take a few salads here. Add a couple of salads. And there is another really good meal for you to end up eating. Okay, so, you know, if you think about the meals that I've shown you, these are simple, quick, easy to make meals. I mean, you know, you can do this in a couple of minutes, and people complain, well, I don't have the time. It's not difficult to eat correctly. It depends on how badly you want to build a reasonable body. Now, of course, when you start going to the top levels and you start working, you know, the guys that are going into big competitions and everything, they're going to eat a lot more scientifically than this. This is just a simple way for guys like me that just want to be in reasonably good shape. I mean, you must remember, I'm about 4 months off now, being 61. So the years are with me, but I tell you what, it's easy to maintain and keep a good looking body if you eat reasonably well and you do simple little things and use common sense. Bodybuilding is not about trying to be some big hero. It's about just being a normal individual, being able to do stuff that you enjoy doing and that you can share and help others where you can. I'm not saying this is the only way to eat. There are lots of ways to eat. But this is what I do for me, and it works. So take the ideas that you can, try them, and good luck with it. And once again, thank you so much for all the many supporters and the subscribers that I have. I really appreciate every one of you, and thank you for being with me for over the last 4 years. This has been absolutely fantastic, and I'm really enjoying doing it, and there's going to be a lot more to come. I've just scored brownie points because while I was cooking the potatoes, I washed the dishes. So there you go. Have a great meals, and we'll see you again in the next video.